Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here doing a live action or live reaction to the live action version of Ghost in the Shell trailer. That was a horrible intro, but excited to check this out. I think, of course the movie's had its controversy, all that crap, and we've been there, we done that. It's coming out. I never really cared to begin with, honestly. I was just excited. I like Ghost in the Shell. I've seen the original film. I saw the remastered version of the film, which was like the Star Wars special edition of Ghost in the Shell, except it wasn't like crazy CG. It was actually pretty okay. I like the series. I believe I saw both versions of the original show, which is like Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex 1 and then Second Gig. I haven't seen the new series, Arise, but I know there's some references in here. People have mentioned like her haircut looks like it does, which I've seen the cover. I know what she looks like on Arise, so the hairstyle is the same as Arise and stuff like that. So I'm excited to get into this. I've seen some of the visuals a little bit, but I'm just excited to get into it, so we're just going to get going. Like, I love the visuals for that already. I'd seen that too because they have the little snippets.
I'm on site.
And see, this is just like the opening to the first series, actually. So that's actually great. And then that's the all-white outfit, which she has in the film as well. I believe she has a different version of the outfit in the TV show, but that's like the all-white outfit from the movie, which is sweet.
You are the first of your kind, but you're not invulnerable.
Maybe next time you can design me better.
Weird to see DreamWorks.
They feel connected to something.
I always think of Shrek. There's a Heineken bottle in the background.
No.
That's really cool.
But are you?
You were dying. We saved you. And now you save others.
That's straight out of the first movie, so that's pretty cool. I'm liking the car style. It seems sort of Blade Runner style, where it's futuristic, but also kind of 80s. That's pretty sweet.
Trust me, you're right. You know I have a past.
Yeah, that's the Arise stuff for sure.
Everything they told you was a lie.
Who are you?
They did not save your life. They stole it.
Ghost in the Shell. Okay. That was pretty cool. I like that. I think for the first trailer, I think that actually showed us a lot of really good content. Like I said, I'm a fan of Ghost in the Shell, so going through that opening sequence when like the people are being kidnapped basically by these robots and stuff, that's straight out of the first episode of Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. So that's really cool. The outfit that she's wearing, the all-white suit, it's basically the suit from the original film, which is an all-white outfit. She wears like a weird sort of, she almost wears like a swimsuit in Standalone Complex. Like she wears like a one piece. It's almost like a swimsuit, and then she has boots on. Like she has like no pants and just like some boots on, and like it's a weird kind of outfit. But they gave her the full bodysuit, the full white bodysuit, which I thought was pretty cool. It's a nice reference to the original film. And what they did in this, I think, looked pretty good. The CG I thought was nice, except for the one part that bothered me with the CG was actually her when she becomes visible. It just looks super CG, but it's also the first trailer, and it's like that a lot. Sometimes you notice it, sometimes you don't, but pretty much every trailer, the CG that we see in that initial trailer that they release is never the finished product. Like, there's always something that's not done, and so I'm hoping it looks a little bit better. It just looks so CG, and I know a lot of this is going to be kind of bring up Star Wars, and it's going to be a lot like the prequel Star Wars movies, where it's like a ton of green screen and stuff like that. But it's clear that like during the scene when she was walking down the street, even though there's like a ton of CG stuff, there's like a fake koi flying around in the air. There's like I mentioned, there's a big Heineken bottle like in the background. Um, Stuff like that, of course, is CG, but it's clear she's on an actual street, or at least it looked like it during that scene to me. But maybe it's because you got like flying fish. I don't notice the street looks fake, but I thought it looked good. That was like the only scene when she became visible that looked really weird to me. Maybe it's because it was in slow motion as well. I don't know, but that was the only scene where I was like, the CG just didn't really work for me. Other than that, I thought it looked great. You know, we have the robots moving around, their faces opening up and stuff like that. Before that, you know, just the makeup that they have, because they're like geisha, you know, robots, they all looked really cool to me. Um, Her, when I mentioned like the Arise thing where she looks like the newer version of the character, I thought that was cool. They kind of put that in there, the part where she's handcuffed to what I'm going to assume is a stripper pole. She's in the all red outfit. That's a clear reference to Ghost in the Shell Arise, because that's the exact outfit she wears, at least in the first series or first season of that series. That's like the poster image, is her in like a full-on red outfit, and she has the much shorter hair, and the hairstyle is definitely from Arise rather than the original style, which was kind of like a mullet, just a little bit. It was sort of like a mullet, but not, it wasn't that bad, but it was just like kind of the way it looked, especially in the older film. I think they made it look better in the series, but in the old film it definitely was like kind of mullet style. But I like that. I thought it was pretty cool. Like I said, the visuals I think were great. All the, you know, the floating fish and stuff like that. When they do like the pan over the skyline of the city, and you just see like giant, basically three-dimensional billboards, and it's just flat out people moving around and stuff. That's really cool. I don't remember any of that from like the original series. It was kind of like, you know, they have fancy billboards, but it wasn't like every billboard, it seemed, was like, especially when they show like the big the really wide shot of the city, and you see like multiple things. It's like one of the heads looked like it had like a bunch of chopsticks sticking out of it or something, or like needles or something, and it's like, that looks really cool. It's just like a crazy visualization of this city, but it also keeps that old school style. Like the apartments, this is such a simple thing, but those apartments are almost spot on from the original film, where it's just like a bunch of apartments. Like even for an apartment building, it looks cramped. I was like, that's exactly what it looked like in the old film, and I just thought that looked really amazing. And it's just a freaking apartment building, and will probably only show up during that scene if it kind of follows in line with the original film, which it seems to do. But I like what we got to see. They only really showed us like three or four of the main characters. We don't see the rest of the team, because there's like 6 members, if I can remember it. There's like quite a few people, you know, on the team. So we only really get to see Motoko, and then I can't remember anyone's name. Like, she's the only character I remember. So we get Kusanagi, and then we get, you know, the other dude who has like the weird beady eyes. And then we get this random woman who I don't recognize her from anything that I can remember of Ghost in the Shell. But I'm excited for it. And the villain, from what I can recall, I might be blending the movie and the series together, but I believe it's very akin to the same villain from the original film. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what they do with this, how they, you know, kind of play around with the villain, because it's clear they're blending in elements of the original film and then the first series, you know, with Standalone Complex. So I'm excited to see how they do it, because the series has the same villain as the film, but they add in, because it's you know, just a longer series, it's not an hour and a half. They have the same main villain that overarches the entire series, but they also add in new villains for each episode for the anime. So it's like they have individual villains, but then the overarching villain is still the same person from the film. So I'm curious if they're going to do that and keep... You know, I won't even mention the name of the person, just in case, but I'm curious if they're going to keep some stuff like that. Like I mentioned, the Arise stuff with the outfit, I thought that was a nice little touch to throw in there, because that's the current iteration of Ghost in the Shell. So it's cool that they actually threw that reference in there. I think the outfits look really nice. You know, like I said, the full white outfit is good. The full red outfit is good. Her, even with the jacket, I thought looked pretty cool. I was like, that's a nice little touch, because they have that. It's kind of like her look when she's not fighting people. She does have that jacket, and I was like, that's actually kind of sweet. So I think the style is definitely amazing. The look, as far as the costume goes, that's pretty nice. And I am excited for this. I thought it was a nice first trailer. Like I said, the only thing that bugged me was the part where she becomes visible, because the CG just looked too CG to me. But other than that, I actually thought it was pretty great. So definitely want to know what you guys thought about this trailer. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts about it, your least favorite parts. If you're a fan of Ghost in the Shell, I want to know what you guys think of the references and connections to both, well, basically all of Ghost in the Shell. It has references to the movie, the series, and the current series, so I want to know what you guys think about those references. If you're not a fan of Ghost in the Shell, but you're watching it just because it's an anime film, I want to know what you guys think about it. Maybe check out some Ghost in the Shell stuff and look at some comparisons. I'm sure there's already videos out there where it's like, this is the exact scene from this episode or this and that, so you can probably just find that video. But definitely want to know what you guys think about it as well. With this being the first trailer, I definitely want to know what you guys want to see from the next one. I'd like to see, honestly, my main thing is I want to see the rest of the team, because the team members are actually a really important part of this storyline. And there's one character in particular that I really want to see how they do his character, because he's not like everybody else. So I really want to see how they kind of play around with his character. But I like what they did with this. The sort of 80s style they have it with the cars and stuff. I like that, where it's like very futuristic, but those are like, you know, almost like Trans Ams. They look like Trans Ams to me. So like it's kind of 80s style cars. I was like, that's pretty sweet. So I like that idea as well. But the main thing I want to see is the rest of the team, how they look, you know, how they're going to have their characters be acted out and stuff like that, and what sort of action elements they put some of these characters into. But I think this was a pretty good first trailer. Like I said, definitely want to know what you guys think about it, so please comment below, let me know, and of course, thanks for watching.